Thank you so much. Stop. Okay. Namaste, everybody. Just give me a minute. There's some.
Namaste, Deepika.
Okay, so let's begin. Make yourself comfortable on the mat. Let's start with a small prayer. Sit comfortably with your spine nice and tall. Eyes gently closed. Bring your awareness to your eyeballs. See that your eyeballs are comfortable too. Bring your awareness to your shoulders. Roll them back gently and bring them down. Extending your heart out. Settle down your hands on the knees and chin mudra. Take a moment to bring your awareness, your attention into this moment. As you relax the movements, the thoughts within you. Let us begin with 3 Om chanting. Take a deep breath in. Please do palming and open your eyes. Namaste, everybody. And welcome back after a day's off. So let's start with today's session. Okay. So I'm going to start sharing the screen. Okay. So day 3. So everybody remembers day 1, day 2 practices? Yes, no, kind of, yeah. Okay. All right. So we will have revision after, I think, this week's session. So maybe next week, the start of the next week, we'll have a revision of the entire sequences. All right. So let's see what are we learning today. Yeah. Let me zoom the screen. Yeah. Day 3. Okay. So the first practice is chair Marjari Asana or Vithilasana. Okay, which is cat cow pose. So seated on the chair, we're going to do cat cow pose. Again, it is really good to improve the spine flexibility. Yes. So why is this posture called cat cow pose? What is the significance? Anybody knows? Marjorie is a Sanskrit name for cat cow. Yes, for the cat. But what happens when we do this pose? Any idea? Right? Okay. Have you ever observed cat? You know how flexible it is. It can squeeze through a small hole. Yes. So similarly, when we practice this, we are creating that kind of flexibility in our spine. And that's why this posture called Marjari Asana, the cat cow pose. Right. So if we do not work on spine every day, it gets jammed, it gets stiff very soon. Right. And if it gets stiff, then definitely the pain arises and also the abdominal muscles weakens. So that's why we need to work on the spine almost every day. A simple cat-cow stretch is also fine. If we cannot go for, the other sequences, but at least a simple cat-cow stretch, maybe during the start of the day and when you go to sleep. Okay, so chair cat-cow poses. In fact, this is really good for someone who is, who is at the workstation for very long hours. So they don't have to spread the mat and take out time separately, just seated on the chair, on that office chair, and they can make this movement and release that tightness from the spine. And this is really good in gaining mobility in the spine and flexibility in the muscles of the back. Okay. Then next we have, let me minimize the screen so it'll be easy for you guys. Okay, so the next one is seated forward bend with reach through variation. In the last class, this is similar to Paschimottanasana with a little variation here. So in the last class, we learned a forward bend where the hands were either between the feet or close to the feet or in either side of the feet. But in this practice, you are going a little bit more deeper. So the hands are actually gone inside towards the chair, right? So how is it, which part of the body is involved here? Of course, back, since it's a forward bend. Then also there is a nice stretch in the hips and legs, right? Now, the easy variation is where if someone cannot reach to the floor, if they cannot place their hands on the floor, they can always use blocks. Take the support of the block, place the hands over the block and do a forward bend, right? Which we learned in the previous class. Okay. Now, if I have to challenge, then what am I going to do? I'm going to stretch the arms little more towards the back of the chair, that is inside. So more stretching, and this will give an intense stretch to the posture. So this is the challenging variation. So I can also bend my elbow and try bringing the elbows close to the floor. This is the advanced one or a challenging version of this Paschimottanasana, chair Paschimottanasana. But let's not forget, we cannot directly give challenging variation. And this happens only when the person has got good amount of regular practice of the basic pose. Once they're comfortable doing this and they have increased their flexibility, their health, then yes, they can go ahead with the challenging variation. The next posture, yes, chair pigeon pose. Did we see this in the last class? No, right? We saw? I think, okay. Chair.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay. So I'll just repeat this again. Chair pigeon pose, Ekapada Raja Kapot Asana. Once again, the same benefit of a pigeon pose, which we do on the floor. Okay, so it works on, it's a very good hip opener. Then it works a little bit on the thighs also and lower back. So how are we going to do? Right leg first, one leg over the thigh of the other. Okay, either the person can place the hands here and just bend a little bit forward, or they can actually bring a block and bend down towards the floor with the help of the block, or directly placing the hand on the floor. Now, if someone cannot place the legs like this, for example, someone has got knee pain or knee problem and they cannot actually square their leg like this, in that case, what can they do? We discussed this. What can they do? Can anybody tell me?
Cross the leg?
Yes. So they can place one leg over the other, cross their leg, and then they can either bend forward as much as their body allows, right? So this is a easier variation. And the challenging is where the body is bending forward, close, and bringing the hands close to the floor for a deeper forward stretch. That's the challenging variation. Okay. Yes, this posture is really good to release that compression from the nerves. Sometimes the pain radiates to the lower part, like from back of the thigh, and that's sciatica pain. So when we do this pigeon pose, it's really helpful to release that pain by decompressing the nerves from the lower back. Okay. Next, we have knee to chest pose, which we call it as Pavanamuktasana or Apanasan. This is single-legged, Ekapada Apanasan or knee to chest pose, right? So again, when we do this pose, it's a good compression on the abdomen. So abdominal muscles get massaged. Again, a good opening for the hips and also a good stretch for the hamstrings. Right. So for hamstrings and hip flexibility, hip joint mobility, this is really good. And a little bit of stretch in the abdominal area also. Okay. Again, it varies from person to person. If the person is on a really heavier side, yes, for them, it may be a little difficult to lift the leg to such an extent. So for that also we have variation, which we will be seeing during the practice. Right. So easier variation is, now, for example, if somebody has knee pain, right? So instead of placing their hands or holding the shin, they can actually hold the inner thigh. That way, there will not be much stress or strain over the knee. So hold it from inside and just catch the inner thigh and hold the pose for some time, right? This is the easier variation. Okay. One more reason they can hold inside. One is if there is a knee problem. One more thing is if they have got a tummy. Yes. If they have got a big tummy in front. So because of that also they can feel little uneasiness. So in such a case, they can hold the inner thigh instead of holding the shin or packing the shin. Next, what is a challenging variation? Here it is to flex and extend the foot. So that is ankle bending. So as they hold this posture, one can flex and extend the foot. So two work or two movement in one pose, giving an ankle stretch at the same time, knee to chest stretch. Right? Then one on the right side and then left side. So this is knee to chest pose. Next we have, guys, do you know tiger pose, Vyagarasana? Yes. So this is similar to that, but with a little variation, or we can also call it as bird pose. So wherein when you do it on the floor, you will raise the right hand and left leg out. Coming into tabletop, raise the right hand and left leg out. Yes. Do you guys aware of that pose? You come on your fours and then stretch the right leg and left leg, right hand, left leg out at the same time. So that's the variation of Vyagarasana or tiger pose. The same thing we are doing on the chair. So seated on the chair, what are the body parts that are involved here? So you can see, actually, when you do this, you can feel that your abdominal muscles are very well engaged. It works really good, especially if you're going to do it on the floor, then definitely your abdominal muscles is worked. The same effect you get, the same benefit you get when you do it on the chair also. So stretch the hands, at the same time, lift the opposite limb. Okay, so abdominal muscles is worked, your hips, your quadriceps, your thighs, they are like wonderfully, they get toned. So it is good to strengthen your quadriceps, your abdomen, to stretch the hip joints also, okay, which will release the tightness from the hips. So people who have got restricted mobility, right? It can be senior citizen or it can be someone who has got health condition. Doing this pose, right, it will improve their mobility. So the restriction will be reduced. So they can move their hands, they can move their legs freely, they can walk freely with these poses. But remember, this pose, we cannot give it in the beginning. So you'll have to introduce this pose after a couple of regular practices or sessions. This is little challenging also and intense. Okay. And in case if they're not able to lift or they want to hold this pose, then you can also place this foot over blocks so that they get extra support to hold that posture for longer period. Now, what is the challenging version? The challenging variation is to straighten this leg in front, stretch the leg out. This is the challenge, right? So your leg will be parallel to the floor, right? So then next, any doubts so far? All clear? Okay. Now, the next pose is Naukasana. Boat pose, chair, boat pose, or chair, Naukasana. Right. Again, it's an intense pose, so we cannot introduce it in the beginning. After a couple of sessions or practices, you may give this practice only if you're confident that your student can do it. If they're not ready for it, probably we'll have to wait till they're ready for this pose. So whenever you start giving poses, please remember, observe if your student is ready or prepared for that. Yes. Otherwise, stick to the basic stretches and maybe extending the heart out or a little bit of forward bends, which are like very light and gentle for them to practice. Now, coming to chair Naukasana, again, Naukasana is really good for the abs as well as for the quadriceps. Yes. Then hip opener, definitely it is. So it strengthens your abdominal muscles. It strengthens the quadriceps, the thighs. Again, it depends how you're holding it, how long you're holding it. Now, the easier variation, if someone is like, holding a posture is very important here in chair yoga. If they're finding it very, very challenging, then they can rest the feet over some prop, maybe a stool kind of thing, or it can be a table where they can rest their feet in a comfortable way. And at the same time, they get the benefit of this pose also. All right. Then what is the challenging? Challenging is to straighten the leg. They can straighten it like this, parallel to the floor, or they can straighten it in a V shape. Okay. This is chair boat pose. Now, if somebody is having back pain, it can be on and off, it can be severe, then this posture is like a complete no. So avoid giving this posture. It is going to create tension on more, it will aggravate the pain. So instead, just avoid this, right? And if somebody is like, has got some problem with their lower body, so in such case also you can avoid it, right? Next we have chair forward bending twist, Parivritta Uttan Asana. Again, it is going to work on the arms, shoulders, and it's a twist. So your spine is also getting gentle twist. It is working on the hamstrings also, because we are bending forward. So forward bend is going to work on the hamstrings. Then twist is going to work on the spine, and then the shoulder and arms, right? So a nice posture to stretch the hamstrings, then open the hip or create space in the hip joint or spine. Yes, to release any form of tightness which is there in the spine and gain flexibility in those areas, right? Okay, and even your arms are getting strong, strength. Now, what is the easier variation is, if the arm doesn't reach the floor, you can rest it over the block, yoga blocks. That is, that will be helpful for the student or for the person to hold the pose for very long time. So use blocks. Now, what is the challenging variation? This hand, okay, you can bend and take it back, which will again open up this right shoulder or the left shoulder, the upper shoulder to the outside. So you're giving an external rotation to the shoulder, which is pointed to the sky or the ceiling. This is the challenging variation. Take the arm back, just rotate that arm back, or take that arm back and give an external rotation to that corresponding shoulder. This is the challenging variation. So chair forward bending twist. Next, we have the Vrikshasana. So in the upcoming practices, we will have poses where you're taking the support of the chair. If not sitting, but you may be taking the support of the chair. So in few poses, you may be found sitting down on the floor, taking the help of the chair. So chair acts like a prop, right? So here to practice Vrikshasana, right? Again, this is not given in the beginning. So after a couple of regular practices, we incorporate this pose. We add this pose, chair Vrikshasana. And here also the foot is placed not at the inner thigh, but close to the ankle or the shin or calf area. Take the chair support, hold the chair as a support and do Vrikshasana. Now, if they want, they can raise the hand. If the student is not comfortable raising the hand, just bring it down for some time. Work on standing on one leg for some time. Yes. So this is the easier variation where the hand can just come down, take the support of the chair and try standing on one leg, which will help in building balance. Okay. Balancing poses are really good for nervous coordination, especially senior citizens. As they age, the nervous system depletes. Okay, so it starts losing its power or it starts degenerating, and because of which the balance is lost. You can see many senior citizens or elderly people, they start losing balance. Yes, which is very common among them. And these days, it's not just the elderly people, but even younger group, because the nervous system is getting it's getting affected very soon because of the lifestyle one follows. So nervous system is one thing which is affected very soon. So for that, we encourage the practice of balancing asanas. Do you know what is balancing asanas? Like we have Natarajasana, then Warrior 3, then we have Vrikshasana or the tree pose, then Eagle, Garudasana, Eagle pose, where you're standing on one leg or you're trying to balance even this one. What is it called? Hasta Angushtasana, standing on one leg and stretching the other leg in front. So Hasta Pada Angushtasana, most of the balancing poses, we stand on one leg, right? So this will help in nervous coordination, right? Apart from the other benefits, but working on the nervous system is very important. And for elderly people, yes, you can always add this kind of balancing poses. Okay, so the easier version is not stretching the hand up. And the challenging portion, challenging variation is moving this foot to the inner thigh. So lifting it up. Once they are comfortable balancing themselves here, you can slowly start shifting the foot to the inner thigh, the actual Vrikshasana. Of course, with the support, but the position of the foot is here. It's shifted to the top, inner thigh. So, and then finally, we have dangling pose or Uttanasana variation. Now, this is actually a part of a sequence, and that's why I have added this. Otherwise, it's not a part of chair yoga, okay, chair yoga or chair pose, but someone who is practicing a sequence on a chair, practicing chair yoga sequence, in that case, after giving the sequence, 10 or 20-minute sequence, finally, we give this pose, which will help them to relax or calm down. And that's why I have added this posture or this pose here. So they are continuously sitting on the chair, practiced all the sequence, and finally, before doing pranayam or shavasana, they will get into this posture so that whatever stiffness is created or tension is built because of constant sitting, that can be released. So they can just loosen up their body through this pose. Now, there is one variation where instead of folding the arms, you can stack block on the floor and place the hands over the block. So you can stay Like this is the third step of Surya Namaskar, Pada Hastasana or forward, standing forward fold, which will give good stretch to the back of the legs. So a nice way to release the tightness from the lower back. So then the challenging variation. So easier variation is placing the hands on the block. The challenging variation is bringing the hands around the legs. The actual Pada Hastasana, standing forward fold. So wrapping your arms around your ankles or thighs and bringing your head, your forehead close to the knee or shin. That is the advanced or challenging variation. Right? So this is the sequence, the 10-minute sequence. So first you start with Marjari Asana, seated cat-cow stretch, followed by a forward bend, and then we have the Raja Kapotasana or the chair pose, then followed by knee to chest, and then the tiger pose variation where you stretch one hand and lift the opposite leg. After that, you relax and get into chair pose. Then a forward bend and a twist, Parivirtottanasana, and then we have a balancing asana, which is tree pose, and finally the dangling pose to calm down. And finally, you can actually add Shavasana. I'm going to close this. And then pranayama. It's up to you whether you want to add pranayama in the beginning or towards the end. All right. So I usually add it towards the end. It's up to the teacher. So any doubt, we'll start the practice. Yeah, already? So let's come on the mat. Let's begin. We'll start with the neck practice first. Let's do a little warm up. Right. So let's give an up and down movement. Bring the hands over the knees. Keep your spine tall. Breathe in, take your head up and back. Exhale. Bring it back to the center and down. Inhale up. Be gentle with the practice. Exhale down. Breathe in up. Breathe out. Down. Slowly bring your head back to the center and relax. We're going to do a tilt. So left hand taking the support of the chair, right hand up, on the left side of the head. And slowly tilt your head to the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back to the center, relax. Now left hand on the right side of the head. Gently tilt your head to the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Center and relax. Right? Take your right hand, place it over the left leg. Sorry, right leg over the left leg. Okay? So we're going to give side stretch here. Right? So breathe in, raise your right hand. Breathe out and stretch. Bend to your left side. Gentle breathing here. Breathe in, come back to the center. Breathe out, relax. Okay. I'm going to do both ways. So I've taken the right hand also and bent to the left. With the position of the leg, with the legs in the same position, I'm going to raise the left hand. Breathe in. Breathe out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in, breathe out, and relax. Now, left leg over the right. Once again, inhale, raise your right hand. Exhale. Yes. Keep it relaxed. So your left shoulder gently away from your ear. Right? If you want, you can place it on hold the chair, or you can place it here. 3 breaths here. And inhale back to the center. Exhale. 3 breaths is like minimum. The more they hold, it's good. So instead of making them hold the pose for a very long time, break it into repetitions. So like I did for 3 breaths and then come back, relax. Again, I'm going to repeat it. So this way we can guide them in repeating the poses. Initially, it would be challenging. Inhale, left hand up. It may be challenging to hold the pose for a very long time. Exhale and bend. Breathe in, breathe out. One more. And slowly come back to the center. Breathe in, breathe out, and relax your leg. Now we're going to do twisting. So only one round of twisting. So once again, right leg over the left. Take your left hand, place it outside the right knee. My right hand goes back. We will do the easier version. So let's recollect. What is the easier version of twisting? You guys have to do and show me. I'm not doing it now. So what's the easier version? Yes, good. Nice. So in the easier version, we are not giving a complete twist. We are just turning to the side and stay there. My hand can go back, or I can just place it over the seat of the chair. That's it. A gentle twist. Now let's do the actual pose. Twist nicely. Twist nicely from your hips. You can either rest your hand on the chair or on the chair seat. Now breathe in, come back to the center. Breathe out, relax. Now left. So bring the left leg over the right. We are going to do the actual pose. So twist nicely. Keep breathing gently. And back to the center. Relax. Now remember, chair yoga is not just for elderly people or for someone with limited mobility, but even for pregnant ladies, right? So even they can perform chair yoga in cases where they might have little challenges during their phase, and they might not be able to do practices on the floor, or they are recommended to do gentle poses. So in such cases, chair yoga is really good. In that, we do not recommend twisting. So twisting is not for pregnant women, right? Okay. And also placing one leg over the other. Even this is, in some cases, we do not recommend this. So you can make a note of that. Now let's practice today's poses. So the first one is cat cow stretch, right? Bring the hands over your knees or thighs. And first one, breathe in. Arch your spine. Breathe out and roll your spine, forming a nice hunch, or expand your shoulder blades. Once again, inhale, lengthen your spine, extending your heart out. Lower body relaxed. Exhale. Pull the abdomen in. Open the shoulder blades to the outside. And gently come back to the center and relax. Now my hands are placed on the knees. I can also bring it in front, interlock the fingers, right? And then as this is normal breathing, where I'm pulling my abdomen in, the cow pose. Yes. Or somebody, if they have got like finding very difficult to bring the head down, yes, in that case, just work on the spine. That's it. The head can still be looking at the hand or keep it straight. That's it. All we need is to work on the spine. Okay. Now take the hands back. Come back to the center. Take your arms back. Maybe I can just get that side view. For this, again, you have to come in front. Okay. Take the hands back. Interlock the fingers. Stretch. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Once again, breathe in, take your arms back, send your heart out. Breathe out. Roll the spine in, pull the abdomen in. Very good. And relax. Come back to the center, spine torn, hands over the knees. Right? Okay, so now forward bend. So I'm going to keep my knees at hip width distance, or I can keep them closer, right? So we're going to do a forward bend here. Breathe in at the center. As I breathe out, I'm going to go down and take my hands inside. So, so as I bend forward, again, I'm going to come towards the edge of the chair, and then I'm going to take my hands inside. So in the last class, we saw we kept the hands here, right? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my hands inside so I get a nice stretch in the arms, especially nice stretch in the shoulders, right? Let's stay here. Breathe normally. Good stretch in the legs. All right, slowly come up. As we come up, always breathe in as we come up. Whether you're doing chair yoga or any form of yoga, from forward bend, whenever you come up, breathe in and come up. Now, what if I cannot place my hand on the floor? So I can use block. This is the easier variation. So once again, not inside, but here. That's it. This is the previous practice which we saw in the last class. Right, in the last class we saw this one, right, forward bend. This is the preparation or the easier variation of today's practice. So just place here gently and stay. And in case I want to just keep the blocks lying down and then place for that little extra stretch. All right, gently come up. Slowly breathe in, come up. So this is the easier variation. So let's practice the challenging one. So what's a challenging one? Can anybody show me? Yes. So you can bend the elbows. Good. Yes. So take my hands, instead of keeping it straight, I'm going to bend it. All right. So when I bend it, I get good compression or good massage on my abdomen also. So instead of keeping it straight, I'm going lower. So more further down and bending my elbows. Can you all see? Yes. Try. Just try. Avoid this during your periods or pregnancy, or if there is severe back pain, please avoid these kind of intense practices. Good stretch. Slowly come up. Yes. Make sure you're not sitting too far. Yes, you'll have to come at the edge or little bit in front. Only then you can do it comfortably. Now, one more thing. if a person can, can do this challenging version, yes, then what is the need for a chair yoga poses for that person? He or she might as well do it on the floor. Yes. What happens is, you might have come across people who find doing forward bends very, very tough, especially Paschimottanasana. Yes. What they do whenever they do a forward bend, seated forward bend, their spine is rounded, it's slouched, and they cannot reach to their toes. Yes or no? Have you ever come across? When we do a forward bend, usually your hand reaches to the ankles, that's it. Let me show you. Yes. So for someone who is facing this issue, right? For someone who is like slouching, yes, you're seated on the floor and you're trying to do a forward bend, and that's it. So because of a lot of factors, the body is not, it's not allowing you to bend forward. Yes. So in such cases, for such people, doing the same pose on the chair is like more beneficial. So they get the same benefit which you get it in Paschimottanasana by doing on the chair, because through a support, you're actually able to bend the elbows and reach further down. And I'm sure they will also be able to do that. For them, doing it on the chair is like practicing that same pose on the chair is like very comfortable. All right. So they can also try this pose. Okay. So this is chair, Paschimottanasana or seated forward fold with a variation. Next, we will have this knee to chest. So first, I'm going to lift my right leg. Again, okay, we are constantly, during your chair yoga practice or session, we are actually seated on the chair for a very long time, continuously, right? So what happens, that may get strained. So I'm going to use pillow or any kind of support which is going to relax my back. So this is something which you have to make a note of. You'll have to remember it in case you are, you're going to teach, right? So constantly sitting on the chair and doing practices, it may lead to, because you're constantly sitting, right? Even if it is for like 15-20 minutes at a stretch, it will create little tension. So they can always use the support on and off. There are some practices where you don't need the support. It will be an obstacle. So, okay. So next, what I'm going to do is lift the right knee up. Now I cannot do with the support. So either I should use a small thin pillow, or I don't use it at all. So I'm going to bend my right leg and bring it closer. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Relax. Now left leg. Bend your left leg and lift up as much as you can. For some, they can lift till this much only, or for some, like they find it really difficult because of the heaviness, yes, or because of the stiffness in the leg or in the hips. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The more you want to lift it up, it's going to create space in the hip joint and relax. Right? Now, if I want to do an easier variation, what will I do? Guys, if we have to do an easier variation, so how are we? Yes, correct, baby. So instead of holding the shin, in case I have a knee problem and or it's too heavy to lift, yes, I cannot reach here. So in such a case, I'm going to hold the inner thigh. So let me show you this way. I'll show you this way. Okay? So I'm going to hold the thigh from inside. That's it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Now left leg. Slowly start lifting. So I'm going to lift only till this because this is I've got limited mobility, so my body is allowing me to lift only this much. That's it. Stay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please do not stop with 5. 5 is a very, very small number. Since we don't have much time, I'm stopping with 5. But at least give them 8 counts to hold the pose. They can gently breathe in, breathe out while they hold the pose and relax. This is the easier version. Okay. How are we going to challenge it? So hold and then flex, extend. Slowly, as they hold the posture, flex your foot and extend. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale and stay there, normal breathing. Flex your foot and hold the posture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extend and relax. Now left leg. Bend the left leg and bring it closer. Wrap your arms. Inhale, flex your left foot. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. And relax. Bring it down and relax. Just bring your hands over the knees. Let's relax for some time. Okay. So we will need a break here. So please stand up and we're going to do dangling pose here. All right. So slowly bend forward. If you're comfortable, you can raise your hands and then bend down, or just slide your hands down. Keep your knees soft. I'm going to keep it bent. All right. And just cross my hands and stay here. So you can add this in between your sequence or in between the poses, just to make give a stretch. I can also place the hand on the floor if I want, if I need that extra comfort. Yes. Or I need to challenge myself. I need an intense stretch. So I'm going to catch hold of my ankles and bring the forehead towards the shin or legs. And give that extra stretch. Yes, good. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Draw them away from you. Stay here. Remember, if somebody is not comfortable bending down completely, feel heaviness in the head, then probably they can just keep their head lifted. Something like this. Knees are still soft. Please lift up your head, look in front. Yes. Half forward fold. And then slowly come up. Breathing in. Gently roll your spine. Great. Please sit. Come onto your chair. So in between, you can add belly breathing. All right, so let's move to the next practice. Now, we have the Vyagrasana, or the opposite leg and knee lift. So first, I'm going to lift my right, stretch my right hand, and then lift the left leg up. All right, my left hand is on the chair. So I'm taking the support of the chair, and I'm going to lift it. So not too high, not too low. It can be either at your hip distance or a little above that. That's it. Because again, it's, your thigh is getting worked here. So your thigh muscle is engaged. So normal breathing. Arm should not be tight. Keep it relaxed. And sit up tall. Engage your core. 1, 2, 3, 4, and relax. Now, left hand, stretch your left hand and then lift your right leg. Yes, your right hand on the chair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and relax. After each round, probably if you feel that the pose is quite challenging, it's intense, after each round, give a pause for like 2-3 seconds and then repeat. Right? Let's do this once again. Stretch the right hand and then slowly lift the left hand and let's stay here. Again, do not go back. Yes, I may need a support here. So, let's go. So, just listen to the body. If it needs a support, then please go ahead. Take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and release. Now on the other side, left hand, right leg. Sit up tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Great. So what is the challenging version here? Or the easier? Let's see the easier. So in case if the leg is like lifted this much and I cannot hold for very long time, maybe I can just use a block and rest my leg. But this is like, I have to keep it upright. So I'm going to place my foot and then stay here. This is of course not going to create much impact on the abdomen, but at least it will work on my thigh and hips. And at the same time, my arms is also getting strengthened. Right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down and relax. Oh, just a minute. Now we will try on the other side. So right hand stretched out and left leg on the block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. Now, if you feel that there should be one more block, then we can try that also. So I'm going to place it. So you can stand or you can place the foot over blocks. Okay. So I'm going to place one more. This is going to give a little more intensity to the posture. Okay. Because I'm not putting any kind of pressure over the block. This is just for the support. So my foot is like light, my leg is also light over the block. Now let's go for the challenging one. So this is the easier version. What's the challenging version? Can anybody tell me? Yes, very good. Yes, Preeti. So if I have to challenge myself after regular practice, so right hand stretched out, left hand or left leg, once I lift, and then I'm going to stretch it out parallel to the floor. Right? Thighs start rolling. Immediately you stretch the leg. Yes. Toes can be pointed or it can be kept upright. And down. Relax. Once again, left hand out and right leg. Yes. Your core is full. So. And bend. Relax. This keep repeating. So at least 5 times and then relax. Right? Again, after this, you may give some stretch to release that discomfort or the tension that is built in your thighs. Okay. Next, we have the boat. Guys, any doubt? We still have like 3 more practices. Any doubts? No? Sure. Okay. Next, we have chair. Now, for chair, you cannot have a support behind. Okay. So, just go back or lean over the chair. Okay. And then, yes. So, I'm going to use, just a moment. I'll have to come in front and then go back, lean over the chair, and then start raising the legs. I'm going to show you the side view or better. I'm going to lean over the chair and then lift. So how are we doing it? In the beginning, just like this. So this is the chair boat pose. Again, go for the nice quadriceps. Already started burning. Yes, good. If you have a stool where you can place the feet to the length of, where you can place the feet, it's nice. It will be nice. Or some kind of table or any support where you can place the feet for that support, right? And my hands are on the chair. And then slowly relax. Come to the front. Now we're going to do the challenging one. So what's the challenging one? Instead of keeping it bent, I'm going to lift it like this or straight. That is too much, okay? So let's stop. Let's just stick to this. So I'm moving my hand and I'm going to place it like this. I'll have to move it to the front. So lean back. When you're doing both pose on the chair, you got to come in front and lean back. Only then it'll be comfortable. Yes. So this is giving me more support. I want to stretch the leg. Yes. And again, this is like intermediate, advanced. So we are not giving in the beginning. And relax. All right, this is both pose. And from here, we're going to do Parivritta Uttanasana, which is forward bend twist with a forward bend with a twist. Right? So bend forward. I'm going to place my left hand on the floor, raise the right hand up, and twist. Look up at the right hand. Parivritta Uttanasana. Okay. Now, if you feel that the neck is hurting, then you can just look down. It's all right. But then the twist is like very minimal. Then slowly come down. Bring the right hand on the floor. You can keep your feet slightly apart. And then start twisting your body and look up at your left hand. And gently come back. One more time. This time, come up. This is the actual practice. Let's do the easier version. So for that, I'm going to take a block. So I'm resting my right hand on the block and then slowly lifting the left hand up with a twist. So my body is twisted and I'm going to look up. This is much comfortable. Very, very gentle to practice in the beginning. Again, keep the neck relaxed. If you cannot look up, just look to the side. And then come back to the center, down, place the left hand on the block, and repeat on the other side. Gentle breathing, and down. Right? Now, what's the challenging portion? So I'm going to take my hands back. So once again, I'm going to place both my hands down, right hand on the floor, twist, and take the left hand up. Then I'm going to take it back and open the shoulder. Open the left shoulder to the outside. I can do this by placing the hands directly on the floor, or I can do it with the block also. Let me focus that. So up, and then I want to take it back. This is much comfortable. So yes. So as you take your hand back, try to open that shoulder to the outside. So my left shoulder is open to the outside. I have a twist also. And then slowly come back to the center. Then left hand on the floor or on the block. Then twist, raise the right hand up and then take it back. My right shoulder opens to the outside. An external rotation. I'm going to place my hand on the floor and try this. And then slowly come back to the center. Stay there for a moment. And then breathe in, come up. Gentle breaths to relax. Maybe we should give a little break to ourselves. Gentle breaths to relax the sensation. All right, get ready for the last practice, chair Vrikshasana. So everybody stand up. So we're just taking the support of the chair. So the easier version is where I'm going to place my hand just outside the ankle or the shin and stay here. My hand can be on the floor or up. So let's stay here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Keep the core engaged. So it does look simple, but no, you're not shifting the body weight here, right? So stand up tall, core engaged, hand raised. And then bring the hand down and then release the leg. Okay. Now on the other side, I'm going to do the same way. That's it. Then, okay, please stand up tall. Make sure your body is not shifting to the other side. Yes. Correct. Stay here. Or I can lift my hand also. And then bring the hand down and relax. So first lower your arm and then your leg. Okay. We'll do the challenging version where I'm going to fix my foot at the inner thigh. Open this knee to the outside if possible. If not, it's okay because there are cases where the mobility will be very limited. So it's all right. With continuous or regular practice, you can open it to the outside. Right? Okay, then sit up, stand up tall and then raise the hand. I'm taking support here, so I'm going to raise the hand here. Yes. Breathe in. Out. Two things, either just stand and observe your breath, focus on the breath, or look at, fix your gaze at one static point in front of you and maintain that balance. Bring that steadiness in your body. Do not be dependent on the support. And then lower your arm and then relax the leg. Let's repeat on the other side. So I need the support. And relax. Slowly lower and relax. That's it. All right. So, do you guys remember what we learned today? We'll have a quick sequence of today's practice because I think today's practice was a little intense also. So tomorrow we will start with a couple of these practices and then proceed with the new practices so that it's stored. Okay, so this is it. Sorry for extending the session. Any doubts, any queries? No? All right, then. Thank you so much. Namaste, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Namaste.